which story do I want to tell first? Well, I think the best story that I can start with is the story of how my character, Tawney Brooke, the Wood Fae alchemist, and all-around dope, lazy slob, napping and snacking friend, got rescued from the Fae realm. So she's been rescued. She's finally back. She's not a doppelganger. She's not an illusion. She's not a figment of anybody's imagination. She's finally back. Yes. 2 months. 2 months she was a prisoner of the Winter Court Fae. Which you would imagine is not a very pleasant place to be a prisoner. Because the Winter Court are cruel and nasty and generally not good people. They are the worstest of the Fae. Because they live in the season of death. Anyway, let me tell you how it went down. So, I had no idea what had been happening to Tawney over these past 2 months when I came to game. Nobody had told me. The Shapers had not spoken to me about sort of like what my experience had been over the 2 months. Though my friend Bryce, who's one of the Shapers, did say like, well, what kind of thing do you think happened to her? You know, like what's your vibe? How do you want her to come back? You know? So forth. And I was like, I don't think she's going to be in a good mental state. I don't think she should be because, I mean, it's 2 months in captivity and poor little Tawney, she's a free spirit. You know? And they said, okay. And that's all they told me before game. And then when I got to game, Bryce comes over and he's like, I'm going to talk to you about like this first thing that we're going to do. The first mod is going to be rescuing Tawney. So you can get costumed up. You can put on all your costume and stuff. I thought we were gonna have to. I was gonna have to NPC for a shift or two, and then they'd rescue me after that. But no, it's lovely. The first mod was my rescue, and I got to play Tawney all event. But he said, yeah, the first mod's gonna be a rescue. So let me tell you what's been going on. Brings me into a little private corner so we can whisper. And he says, okay. So, basically what's been happening is... Oh, it wasn't Bryce who told me this, it was Tammy, my friend Tammy, who's also a Shaper over there. But, whatever, they all told me it at separate times. All the Shapers spoke to me, basically. But anyway, my friend Tammy said, basically what's been going on is, for 2 months, you have been in a little storage area. Just a little storage area. It's big enough for you to stand up. It's big enough for you to slide down the wall a little bit and sit down. But it's not big enough for you to raise your arms or lie down or, generally move around at all. It's just enough space to store you. Think about it like if you were a bike and it was winter and you needed to be put somewhere. Basically that. That for 2 months. They come and put some food through a little slot occasionally. Feed you. Sometimes they open the door and take a look at you every week or so. And if you're too dirty, they hose you down, basically. And then just close the door again. They treat you like an object. Nobody talks to you. Nobody says anything to you. Nobody replies to you. And if you don't cooperate, or you don't go along with what they're doing, they just paralyze you with magic and move you or do whatever it is they need to do. Like that. 2 months. Fun, right? And I'm going like, I thought I was gonna be like, I thought I was gonna get the fucking Theon Greyjoy treatment up in here. I thought I was gonna get like tortured and fucking stabbed and shit. I guess this is a form of torture, obviously, like isolation and limited movement and in general, like not great. And they said, yeah, well, I mean, when you're in this area, you can hear some things from the hallway occasionally, like the hallway just outside. You can hear screaming occasionally as people are being dragged away. You hear Wintercourt Fae talking about how they need new furniture. And like that one will do. Or you hear, what? Or you hear, like, that they're preparing for some big party. And the Fae are setting up for this big party that's gonna happen. And slowly over time, your storage area gets quieter and quieter. You can never talk to the people beside you or like so forth. You can't talk to anyone because you just can't. Like, it doesn't, you're not going to hear them well. Like, you get muffled, you can hear muffled voices sometimes, but they're not intelligible. But as time goes on through these 2 months, your storage area gets real quiet. Just quieter and quieter, quieter, until you're pretty sure you're the only one in there. There's no sound from anywhere for about a week. Maybe just your food delivery. And then they come and they're really excited. There's a group of Wintercourt Fae that come and they take you out of storage. They paralyze you and they take you out of storage. And while you're paralyzed over one of their shoulders and they're taking you away, they say something like, oh, those people who have been in the Fae realm, you know, we think this one will draw them out. We forgot about her, you know, she's in this back storage area. But we think she's important to them, and we think that Lord Finnegan will enjoy this one. I went, all right. And then he said, that's all the information you get. That's all the information you get. It's like, okay. All right, so I imagine me being carted off to this place where I am now is the start of the first mod. And it was. It was the start of the first mod. So the players had been informed that they'd found where Tawney was, and they were going to come and rescue her and like get her back, you know? One of the Springcourt Fae who'd been working with the Fae resistance against the Winter Court, because the Winter Court are in, you know, power right now. Had found out where Tawney was, and they wanted to rescue her, so they went there. When they got there, I was sitting in a chair. I was sitting in a chair with my hands tied behind the chair, and there's another Wood Fae in a chair next to me, an NPC Wood Fae played by my friend Brad, who also had his hands tied behind his back. And we're sitting in these chairs, and there's a Wintercourt Fae with like a big crown on and like some armor, and he looks very imposing. And two of his minions. And so they all come filing in, you know, like, we're here for Tawney, and I'm like, oh, guys, help, you know, kind of thing. And Lord Finnegan puts his hand out, this guy with the crown, puts his hand out and goes, 9.5 minutes. And everybody's like, what? What does that mean? You know? He goes, 9.5 minutes until the brood eggs that I've implanted in both of these Wood Fae burst from their chest and kill them. And everybody goes, oh no, you know, like, oh shit, we gotta get her out. And I didn't know this, and I'm going, what? What? Okay, you know? Sort of, guys, rescue me, please. Please help, please. And he says, you have to choose. Do you save the life of Tawney, your friend, or do you save the life of this innocent Wood Fae who has done nothing wrong? You know? Nothing wrong at all. And and he says, if you save one, the egg will immediately burst from the other one. I have connected the two eggs via a soul link. Once you remove one, the other one will burst forth, killing that Wood Fae instantly. By the way, the name of this mod, I got told after, the name of this mod was No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. That is what the Shapers named this mod. I love it. I love it. Anyway. The Fae Lord goes, 8 minutes. And then looks to his minions and says, kill them! And, like, turns around and Faye walks out, basically. He leaves. He teleports away. And the two of us are in the chair, and they're fighting the minions, you know, and somebody comes over and cuts the rope around my hands and lets me free, and they cut the rope from the other guy and let him free, and they take us away, and they bring us back to the main area that, like, everybody's staying. They're like, we have Tawney, but we need somebody, like a physician or a surgeon or someone to get the egg out of her. And everybody's like, what? There's an egg, there's a brood egg in her, and I'm just panicking. I'm just in full panic mode, because this seems like an elaborate setup to Tawney, you know? It's been 2 months, but she's had no way to judge time, so it could have been years, you know? And she's looking around going like, you know, is this some kind of illusion? Am I being tricked? You know, is this some kind of, like, she's just freaking out. And so Kestra, who's this lovely physician lady who's been friends with Tawney for a while, comes over and goes like, Tawney, I'm gonna take care of you, okay? I'm gonna take care of you. Just come with me. I know you're scared. Just come with me. Just lay down right here. We're gonna get the egg out of you. It's okay. And I can hear the NPC going like, what about me? I need help too. Like, somebody help me. You know, like that kind of stuff. And people are going, yeah, if we have two physicians, we could take the eggs out at the same time, and then it would be okay. But we didn't. We only had one physician who could remove a parasitic organism. Only one was high enough level. So she's reassuring Tawney. Kestra's reassuring Tawney, and she's going, it's okay. Just lie down. It's fine. I'm going to take care of you. It's going to be all right. You're not going to die. It's going to be okay. And she says, okay, so I'm going to knock you out now so I can perform the surgery, okay? I'm like, no, don't knock me out. I don't want to be paralyzed. I don't want to be, you know, like Tawney's just resisting kind of a little bit because she's, you know, not, not in the right state of mind. But then Kestra just like sort of like chloroforms me. Basically, like, just chloroforms me and starts the surgery. And I have my eyes closed and my character is unconscious, but I can hear everything that's going around me because, like, I'm just laying there, like, while I can feel Kestra, like, doing stuff, like, around my stomach area, like, putting bandages and, like, you know, fake surgerying. And I can still hear everything because out of character I'm not unconscious, you know? And I can hear the NPC, like, screaming, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna die, you know, like, oh no, like, help me, you know, and eventually I hear like, oh god, oh no, oh god, and then, you know, and this brood busts out of this guy and he dies. He falls immediately into his death count, and this brood busts out and just like fucking starts attacking everybody, and there's like a fight that happens, and they're trying desperately to defend Kestra because if she's interrupted during the surgery, I die too. You know, if something touches her during the surgery, I'm also dead. But I can do nothing but lie there. I'm unconscious. So that was fun. They managed to suspend the NPC. They used a suspension spell, which is like a protection spell that keeps you in your death count, but you don't get better. You know, like, you just suspended. Because we don't have any life spells. We're not high enough level in that guild to have life spells yet, really. So they managed to suspend the Wood Fae who would have died, given a minute or two more. And we had an NPC help us save him later, so he did live. It was just like, you know, very, very touch and go. And I survived too. And I got rescued, and I got the brood egg removed from my chest cavity. And I'm back with my friends. So, yay. You know, good times.